Is anyone else watching White Lotus? So I'm officially caught up with all the seasons now. Been binge watching them for the past couple of weeks. But what I wanted to do in this video was to talk about a part in one episode that really struck me to have a conversation about. And spoiler alert, if you're watching White Lotus or thinking about it and you don't want to hear stuff that's going to spoil your journey with it, turn away from this video right now. Now that you're turned away, just in case, now I'm going to talk about it. So one episode that I watched last night, well, one of the few episodes, was when a family visited the Buddhist monastery because their daughter wanted to actually spend a year in a monastery and stuff. And it was interesting because, well, the father's dealing with his own shit that he's going through and stuff. So he's like, about it. But the mother was so hell-bent on stopping the daughter from doing it. And it was interesting because the mother said some interesting stuff, which also reminded me of a lot of clients I work with, in which sometimes the parent, sometimes the kid. So I got to see both sides of the equation. But the mother saying something like, oh, isn't the values that I gave to you good enough and stuff like that? And the daughter wanted to have her own experience, go to the monastery to experience, because she actually read the book and was really shifting. But then the mother had her dynamics shifted, her values shifted, her beliefs that she thought the absolute truth, and she put it on her daughter. And I believe also religious beliefs and stuff like that, and was saying that she was totally against the daughter doing that. Like, oh my God, the daughter is going to, it's going to change her. Oh my God, she's going to experience poor and stuff like that. And the family is pretty wealthy. And the other thing as well, which was interesting, was what the mother said, a couple of stuff. One, she said, people are going to see us as failed parents, or we failed as parents. And it was interesting right there. I was having a conversation with my wife. I'm like, you hear that right there? That mother cares so much about other people's opinion of her, that she's living a life based upon winning approval of everyone else, winning approval of the outside society. Actually, something that a couple of clients I work with had that same belief around their child, when their child was going through whatever they're going through, or the child wanted to live a different way other than what the parents wanted, and they wanted me to coach the kid to do exactly what the parents say and stuff like that. And they had that fear of, they don't want to be perceived as a failure by their peers. But that was the surface level thing. It's a deeper aspect to it, because the meaning behind that, if the people see you as a failure, they call you a failure, what does that mean to you? And in so many different routes. Like, some people, it meant they're going to feel the wound of embarrassment of being made fun of again, or even their parents telling them that you're a failure. So they want to prove to their parents that I'm not a failure, and then prove in that way, but they never healed from that wound. So it's very interesting in that dynamic with it, and it was cool to see that. But another thing that really struck me was when the dad was talking to the Buddhist guy that was running the center, and he said to the dad in regards to pain, and he was saying how so many of us, we run away from pain, trying to avoid pain. So we try to avoid pain with external pleasures, whether it's financial success, external success, relationships, sex, drugs, all the different stuff that we get pleasure from, that we use as a way to avoid pain, or maybe as a way to numb pain. But the catch-22 is, when you do that stuff, you may feel that temporary pleasure, but you still experience pain inevitably in life. Whatever experience may be, there's inevitable painful experience, but then at the end of the day, the pain that you have, that you're trying to run away from, is still there. And he was just saying something in regards to, instead of trying to run away from pain, why not just feel the pain, fully be with the pain, fully process the pain, fully work through that pain, but also take your power back and not let the pain make you a slave to life. Because so many people, they go for external pleasures, external success, and things like that, thinking it's going to fill the void or heal that pain. It doesn't heal the pain. It doesn't fill the void. And that's actually some people have conversations with as well. People who have the external success, have those things that so many people strive for and feel that that's going to make me fully happy, that's going to make me at peace in life, and it doesn't. And it's really going within, processing the pain, making peace with yourself, making peace with your past, making peace with the present moment, being peaceful to yourself, loving yourself more, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, letting go of resentment, letting go of regret, all that stuff, aka do the inner work in regards to that. And it's interesting because when I saw that, I was like, wow, it's like a full circle moment, because I've been there personally in my own life. I've been that person to try to run away from pain and use external pleasures and sensations and stuff like that to try to heal the pain, numb the pain down, feel good in my life, and really also fulfill a void. All this stuff, external success, whether with a sales career and everything else, or even seeking proudness, that I thought that my father wasn't proud of me, so then I would do stuff, try to prove to my dad to make him proud of me and stuff like that too. And it's a slave prison type of thing going in, and there's more to it. But interesting episode right there that just had me reflect on life and be grateful for it, but then also just thinking about that parent-child dynamic, in which it's like that with so many parents and with their children, of forcing your beliefs onto your kids and feeling that your kids need to be how you feel they need to be. Your kids need to do the best things that you feel the best things for them to do. Your kids need to have whatever success you feel success is, and you pressure your kids to be the way you feel, and maybe even threaten your kids of, you're going to be a disappointment to the family, or if you don't do this, XYZ type of dynamics. And that's why, like, for me personally, I've dealt with kids like that. They have resentment towards their parents because they lived a life that they wanted their parents to live. They wanted to live a life to make their parents proud of them, but it was never enough, or even the parents told them they're proud of them, but deep down they had an inner war because they weren't living life in alignment for what they wanted with their life. And eventually they come to the crossroads of realizing, this isn't it. This doesn't work for me anymore. You know, like what they call like a midlife crisis and stuff, and they actually make the shift to do something that calls to them, but then they're afraid of actually doing it because I don't want to disappoint my parents, aka I don't want to disappoint my parents, so I'd rather disappoint myself. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. I got a son, he's 13, and for myself personally, what I'm working on, and I'm way more better with, is have him live his own life, have him do the things that call to him, offer guidance when I can to make sure he doesn't do something that's going to cause harm to him and stuff, but really also allow him to live his life, do the things that he wants to do. He's not here to fulfill my shattered dreams. He's not here to live a life that I feel he should live. He's not here to believe what I feel he should believe. He's here to live his own life, live his own journey, guide him with that, support him with that. But also, more importantly, I'm making sure that I'm doing the best possible so my son isn't at my age and has resentment towards me because I forced my beliefs onto him, and because I experienced that in my own personal life, whether it's religious beliefs forced onto me or whatever it may be. But no judgment here. My parents did the best that they can with the awareness that they had and what they felt was best for me. And eventually I figured out, hey, I got to do what's best for me because it's my life. And I'm okay with being a disappointment. I'm okay with disappointing them for not doing what they feel I should do with my life and doing what costs me for my life. How to make peace with that. But yeah, interesting episode. And if you saw that episode that I'm talking about, please share your own insights about that. And if you're going to see that episode because you didn't care about the spoiler alert and stuff like that, I want for you to watch that episode with that type of perspective and awareness to see the dynamics of that family interaction. But also, I get it how the mother is feeling that she needs to do what's best for the kid, but also there's some potential healing work for that mother to heal the fear of failure, but then also to realize that success for your child is potentially something outside of your perspective of success too, and your child's not here to live a life that you feel they should live. They're here to live their own journey. This is why they're here. And as a parent, you offer the guidance and encouragement, but you gotta allow the kid to go through the experience they need to go through to learn the lessons they need to, and be there to support them, but also be okay if other people perceive you as a failed parent. A lot of people that will perceive you as a failed parent, they're failing as parents because of doing stuff like this, and the kid has resentment towards them, and the kid or parent reaching out to me because they have issues with the relationship they have with their kid.